Almost since the start of the pandemic, I've read article after article in the news about people drinking more, and it's totally understandable that that huge change in circumstances, maybe working at home or not having the opportunity to go to the store quite so often, not seeing friends as much, heightened anxiety and fears, and maybe things like relationships being under strain has caused people to reach for the bottle. Maybe for you, the daily glass or two has turned into the daily bottle or two. Have you noticed that your drinking has increased during the pandemic or across the lockdown? If so, I'm going to share some tips that will help you know what to do to get back in control of your drinking. I'm Simon Chapple. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach and the author of the Sober Survival Guide and the book How to Quit Alcohol in 50 Days. And that book is a great place to start if you're looking to explore your relationship with alcohol. Both of my books are available on Amazon and all good book retailers. You could also come join my Stop Drinking program. You get 14 days totally free to try it out. The website address is on the screen right now. And if you enjoy my videos, there's new ones every Tuesday and every Thursday. So hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and you'll get notified every time there's a new video. Now let's talk about drinking and the pandemic and what you can do if you've noticed that the amount you're having has increased. And I think it's perfectly normal. So first of all, I don't want you to beat yourself up. You're not the only person who's drinking more. So much has changed and we've been under so much stress and anxiety that it's understandable we would reach for our usual coping mechanism in times of trouble and turbulence. So first of all, please don't beat yourself up with negative self-talk. The fact that you're watching this video tells me that you've become aware and you're starting to take steps to make a change, which is wonderful. Many people stay completely unaware. They live in a state of ignorant bliss while they're slowly killing themselves with a liquid poison. That's not you. You're watching this video, you're starting to take steps towards change. That's incredibly powerful. But unfortunately, it can also be incredibly painful because it probably means you've got an internal conflict going on where you have an inner dialogue in your mind where half of you wants to drink normally just like you used to, and half of you knows that you need to either cut back or stop drinking altogether. And that fight in your mind is really painful, and until we can get harmony in your mind and peace, then you're going to continue to experience that internal discomfort. And I want to make sure you end that as soon as possible. Now, one of the first things you should do is bring about a mindful awareness to the amount you're drinking, which it seems that you've probably already done. But start to log daily how much you're drinking, either using an app or using a journal. I would also recommend starting to notice things like your mood each day, your levels of anxiety or frustration or anger or sadness. Any kind of feeling that you're experiencing quite strongly and regularly, start to track the data. Data can play a huge part in this journey, and I'd recommend tracking everything that you can to keep on top of what's happening in your own personal experience. In addition to tracking information and logging how much you drink, start to get incredibly mindful when you do drink. I was a daily drinker. I would drink anything from 1 to 3 bottles of red wine every single day, and I did that for over 20 years. Very often I was on autopilot. I wasn't thinking about what I was drinking, I was just getting on with the job of drinking. Now you've become aware that maybe you're drinking way more than you were before the pandemic happened, it's an excellent opportunity to bring that mindful awareness even when you are drinking. So when you do drink, if you're going to continue to do so for at least the short term, start to become aware. Notice everything that's going on, how you feel, even when you buy your alcohol. I began to notice that I would feel a sense of relief and excitement even when I bought alcohol in the shop. That showed me what power alcohol had over me and how it would impact my mood and my feelings just from the process of buying it. So start to notice everything that's going on whenever you're interacting with alcohol in any way whatsoever. And notice how you feel when you get the bottle out of the cupboard, the glass, when you pour it, when you smell it, and of course when you taste it. And then how you feel as the alcohol takes its effect. Usually we feel a sense of euphoria for a short period of time. But then after that, our brain tries to re-regulate us and get us back to a state of homeostasis, which is the baseline of happiness it tries to keep us at all times. It does this by bringing us back down, by releasing dynorphin. But this can actually result in us feeling edgy, anxious, sad, or having an angry outburst. Notice what happens not only with the first drink but with any subsequent drinks. Notice how you feel, because we often hold on to false beliefs that alcohol eases anxiety, takes away our stress, allows us to have fun. Now, alcohol's a drug. Drugs have to have an upside or people wouldn't keep taking them. So of course, initially there is that sense of euphoria. But for me, the reality was that it only lasted for a short period of time before negative consequences followed. And those negative consequences just became not worth the trade-off. For that short period, maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes of escape from my problems. But after that, it was all downhill. It was arguing, my moods became unstable, and I would do things that I regretted. And that's not to mention waking up with a hangover, feeling foggy for the rest of the day, and craving alcohol again and again and again. So start to notice everything that's going on in your experience when you're interacting with alcohol. It will really help you get some clarity around what you really believe and allow you to see how true your beliefs really are. And it can make sense to write out your belief statements. What do you believe about alcohol? What do you believe that it gives you? And now start to look at the truth around that. If you think that alcohol takes away your stress or helps you with your anxiety, is that really true? It would take away my anxiety for a short period of time, and then after that it would actually be way worse, especially the next day. So that belief statement wasn't true. And very often we remain stuck because we hang on to beliefs that simply aren't true, and we refuse to look at them. We refuse to create new beliefs that actually reflect the truth. And in my Stop Drinking program, which I would absolutely advise you to take a look at, we explore beliefs in depth and we work through the process of creating and forming new beliefs that are absolutely true for you, that you can use to allow you to break free from the tight grip of alcohol. Now, I would also recommend that you start to join communities of people who are on the same journey. I run an amazing alcohol-free group for anyone who's looking at their relationship with drinking. You can join that and it's totally private. None of your friends on Facebook will see that you're a member. Nobody will see anything that you post, and it will allow you to connect with people who are either at the same stage as you or possibly further ahead or maybe a little bit further behind. You'll be able to learn from their experiences, make new friends, ask questions. You'll feel supported. You won't feel like you're in this on your own. And that's so important when you start to evaluate your relationship with alcohol. So feel free to join my group. My main Facebook group is completely free, and there's also a members only group that comes with my Stop Drinking program. As I say, you can try that totally free for 14 days to see what you think. If you want to cancel, you can do that easily from in your dashboard. So I'd invite you to give it a try, because for many people it's become life-changing. The address is on the screen at the moment if you want to check that out. And I would also recommend learning all the tools and tactics that you need to help you through the challenging period. When we stop drinking, the most challenging period is between days 3 and 5. We can be experiencing disrupted sleep. Our emotions can be up and down, a bit like a roller coaster. And it can be a tough time generally because we may also be craving alcohol. If you know what tactics you need to navigate that period and you can get through the first week without alcohol, you're going to feel 60 to 70% more mentally resilient and tough after just 1 week without drinking. You'll also notice how much more clear-minded, present and grounded you're beginning to feel. And I think when you start to get those feelings and have that information that things are improving, it kicks you on for the rest of the journey. So getting through that first week is absolutely crucial, and noticing everything that's happening for you by using a journal and tracking the information is absolutely vital. But make sure you know what you need to do in those moments where it feels tough. There's a ton of videos on my YouTube channel. Maybe you could watch a few every day as part of your work to moving forward and growing and learning the best strategies to get through this and come out the other side. Now, maybe you don't even want to quit. Maybe you still think that you can drink moderately, and that's okay. Now, I've talked about moderation on other videos. I tried to moderate my drinking. I was watering down my wine. I also tried drinking later in the day. I tried having timed gaps in between each sip, and all I felt was a sense of deprivation. It felt harder. It felt like I had more choices to make, and all the while I was longing to drink like I normally drank. For me, it didn't work, and for hundreds of other people that I've worked with, it also doesn't work. Yet I feel like attempting moderation seems to be a rite of passage before people decide that actually living alcohol free and the sober lifestyle is actually what is the best fit for them. And maybe you'll need to experience that to make that choice for yourself. But believe me, trying to moderate is actually harder than the process of quitting drinking for most people. But if you need to explore it, do so, but do it mindfully and gather the data so that you can actually assess what happened in your experience. And I also recommend checking out alcohol-free drink alternatives. For many people that I've worked with, having an awesome new go-to drink that doesn't contain alcohol has been one of the best tools they can have on this journey. There's some amazing botanical alcohol-free drinks. You can get them on Amazon, and there's specialist suppliers too. If you need any advice or tips about the best drinks to try, you can find those on my blog on my website, or you can check out the YouTube reviews that I've done of some of the best alcohol-free drinks. But for many people, they can make all the difference, so don't dismiss them. Of course, for some people, they can also feel like a trigger to drink, but unless we try them, we're not going to know. And it tends to only be the minority that feel they trigger them to have the real thing. Until you try, you're not going to know, and you could be missing out on one of the best tools in sobriety. I'd urge you to also work out how much time per day you can dedicate to evaluating your relationship with alcohol. Maybe you can spare 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes. Commit to doing the work. Get a wall chart, and every day you show up and do that work, which might be watching some videos. If you're doing my program, maybe you'll listen to some of the lessons in the program or interact in the group, or maybe you're reading a book and you'll read a chapter every day. But make a commitment to how much time per day you can spend on this. On your wall chart, every day you show up and do your work, put a big X on there. Before you know it, you're going to have created a streak. That streak's going to look good, and you're going to want to maintain it. It can be better to focus on this than to focus on alcohol-free days at the start. Just show up and do the work every day. Define how much time you can put into doing your work, and show up and do it day in, day out, and you'll start to get the results. At the beginning, I would much rather you focused on doing the work than obsessing about how many days you've been alcohol free or not. Now, that's not me giving you permission to drink, but it's emphasizing the importance of putting the work in. If you put the work in, the results are going to come, and everything you need is there for you. All you've got to do is head to my website, look through my YouTube videos, or pick up a copy of one of my books, and it's going to guide you through everything you need. The fact that you're watching this video, having started to worry about how much you're drinking since the pandemic, tells me that you probably want to start moving forward on that journey to change. It's all there for you. I just want you to open the door and start looking at this and exploring it with a bit more curiosity. There's nothing to fear. We often think we're going to lose something precious when we stop drinking. And that's another false belief. The reality is we gain so much. Watch my video that talks about what I gained when I quit drinking. You'll be amazed at what I gained. Most of it I didn't even think about at the start. I just stopped drinking because I didn't want to die before I was 50 and I knew I had a problem. But I gained so many things. I worked out who I really was. I stopped wearing the false mask of alcohol, and that allowed me to improve so many areas of my life. And I want that for you. I want you to experience it. So check it out now. My website address you can find on my YouTube channel, and look through the videos. Start to explore this with curiosity, and if you need anything else, reach out to me. There's so much you can do to start exploring this without fear, without anxiety, and actually embrace the process and enjoy it. This is a lifestyle choice, not a punishment.